So, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are back with Kate and Ethan, going to see if we can't turn things around for Kate with her career, because I was really struggling with that the last time. The reason you're getting a Sims 2 video today is because the day that I recorded and edited this, I was originally trying to record the second episode of The Last of Us Left Behind DLC, and the room full of infected was not being handled properly, and it was frustrating me, so I had to quit and do something that was much chiller than The Last of Us. And of course, that's The Sims 2. I was like, I have to do something today, I have to create something. I need to make a video. I want to use my time as wisely as I can. And I was struggling, so I was like, you know what? Let's go do something easy. And then I got into editing this video and decided editing wasn't what I wanted to do in that moment, and went back to recording more of The Last of Us, and that video got finished and edited before I came back a few days later to finish this one. ADHD, folks, it's a real bitch. Sometimes. This episode is largely just domestic gameplay with Ethan and Kate focusing on advancing in their careers, which Kate is able to do this time, and keep the promotion, thankfully. I still can't decide if I want them to have a kid or not. They are financially well off enough at this point that they could, but also it just doesn't feel like that's where their focus is at the moment. Granted, I do still have to get them married and have a honeymoon first. I have not entirely forgotten about that. Perhaps next episode. And I know I say that every time. Say sorry. We will get there eventually. Have a little faith in me, please. Getting better about making sure Kate maintains her friendship so she can keep her promotion. Ethan and Kate do go on a couple of dates in this episode, but they don't actually go anywhere for the dates. They just hang out at home, but it is nice that they are still making time for one another. A good chunk of this video is not going to have any commentary over it, because it's going to be more of a Sims 2 ASMR kind of thing, which is what I used to do for a long time. And I think, honestly, that mostly just does better, because most of my Sims videos really are just for watching while you go to sleep, not because you want to hear my voice. So I'm gonna let you just listen to the ambient sounds of The Sims 2 throughout large chunks. I'll pop in here and there, but otherwise, enjoy the video.
Oh, Framinette, full of
Ethan stood in the shadows behind the 444 Club, his breath hanging in the air. He'd been on the case of the Maltese Llama for days without a single lead. It had been as though someone was acting against him, predicting his every move, his every thought, that is, until he'd run into Sally. Sally was the type of dame who knew things, the undercurrents of the city, the word on the street, and that some big deal package had been delivered to the doorman at the 444 Club only a few hours earlier. So it was that Ethan found himself downtown on a cold and blustery afternoon, debating whether to sneak in through the club's back door or up the fire escape to a dimly lit window, left open despite the cold. Let's take the back door. Fire escape seems dangerous. The alley behind the club is quiet, almost too quiet. Not even the wind seems able to find its way through the maze of tin cans and discarded newspaper. From somewhere inside comes the telltale sounds of backroom business, the draw of expensive cigars, the slow rap of knuckles on wooden tables, conversation in hushed but serious tones. Ethan kicks in the back door, weapons drawn, knocks a few guys around, and puts a call into the precinct to come pick up the thieves of the Maltese Llama. Llama in hand, Ethan earns 2 logic skill points and heads back to the office, case closed. Look at that, Ethan is just knocking it out of the park still. Very proud of you, Ethan, and you should be proud of yourself. That was an exceptional day of work, even without a college degree. Ethan is managing to make something of himself, which is my way of pushing the narrative that a college education is not necessary in life to accomplish something great. In fact, it is actually a hindrance to go so deeply into debt so young in life. It's a scam designed to keep you enslaved to the capitalist system, and here I am ranting about capitalism again. Sorry.
Upload Narabub. Dip. Gavladub. Narab. Nilababas. What's that?
Kate has been promoted to medium. The spirits of the departed call out to us all, and you, the medium, are the conduit for their haunting voices. Just keep in mind that not everyone likes to hear what their dead relatives have to say. Kate now works from 5 p.m. to 12 a.m., starting immediately. Kate brought home $840 today and got a bonus of $1,680. Good for you, Kate. It's about time.
Domino Neat.
It bothers me a bit that Ethan is attracted to his coworker. There are no lightning bolts on her picture in the relationship panel, but when I click on her in live mode, he has a few options that indicate there is an attraction there. But I have zero intention of acting on my usual impulse to have Ethan cheat, which is largely why I had he and Kate spend some time together after this, because I felt bad about even considering for a second having him cheat just for the hell of it. It isn't even a matter of him actually being tempted to cheat. I just have this impulse to have all my Sims cheat for the plot, because I enjoy a spicy affair, I guess. Never had one myself, would have to have any relationship at all at first, but for some reason when it comes to The Sims, I am obsessed with them having affairs, especially if they get married young and don't spend their young adulthood exploring their options. But I genuinely enjoy these two together and feel like they have a genuine relationship built on friendship and trust, so I have no real desire to sow discord in their relationship. I don't always have to spice up my gameplay with the same thing repeatedly. Does anyone else do that? I'm sure you do. I'm very guilty of it in my Sims 4 main save. Affairs are essentially the backbone of that save. Yes, sometimes I do still play The Sims 4 even now. It's a whole lot less than I used to because if I'm playing a video game now, it's usually for a YouTube video. Almost feels pointless to play a video game if I'm not recording now, which is not a great thing given this was just my hobby that I did to distress for a long time. But I'm also genuinely having fun making videos, so it's not like I'm losing out on anything.
Gambler.
Uh-huh. Out of the pocket? Huh? Oh, am I rabbit? Have a song line on the...
Ah. Mm-hmm.
Gustavo!
Vadasula Gord, Vadasula Brog, Vadabami Aga Ebba Donk Donk Donk,
Oh.
Gerbits, Gerbits. That's it, flavor. C'est là, là, Flo.
Ambia. Bedivnava. Lusto.
Vive là, la tiri do boa là. Traveler.
Durkina.
Ah, Fafala.
Ding Anjunef.
Granitad.
Majdo. Sinkala.
Va, Zababa.
Lava.
Ta wum wum.
Wab. Flinchush, flinchush. Flintabalaka, lada. Blada? Balamalakabzaba.
Isto Rambo. Ibab Shwama.
Believe Huh.
Ram. Where Pang? Subala Tizo.
Pele fuanane. What's it again? Metolo. Fuwa. It was in there, Baladi.
Notice Kate and Ethan were getting along in years, and I do not want them to still have the, and I want them to still have the option of having a child later without being elders while raising their kid. So I had them both focus on wants for a minute to build up aspiration levels so I could use the elixir of life.
Ooh, that's a rat.
Oh, tama na ba?
Kaputile.
Frieza. Java.
C'est vous là.
Rat. Hey, who's about to catch him for somebody?
Wodelebede.
Oh, c'est bon.
Robede.
Da boom, ba, ba, ooh.
Zelede.
True.
Zeleb.
Oh,
Vulaja.
Super.
Fabi.
Eiffel.
Clunet. Foo. Oh. Oh. Poopy.
Blibla. Sibi. Agabla. Agabla. Clock.
Have to. Whoa.
Sprek season free black. Who's in that? Viva. Bletivo.
Bla bla.
Whoosh car. Nina bit lovin'.
Oh, what is that?
Vacina.
Oh, but let them soup on the ma. Wodelebede. Robede.
Oh,
Wale de little.
Dora da si.
Ah,
Sì,
little
tu
wood
like
na navala. Se la. Papa ne lele. Era plinka plinka. Televo. Avu.
Who's a wow?
Televo de.
Shall we?
Nana se. Nede. Nede. Oh, tala mate. Frettoir.
Woohoo in the car. Sims 4 could never. It would be so easy for them to implement cars into 4 just as they exist in 2, and I say that with no knowledge of how to code a video game, so maybe it wouldn't be so easy. But from my outsider's perspective, it sure seems like the modern Sims game should be able to do the same things previous versions of the franchise have already accomplished. I don't think it's too unreasonable to think that, and I'm really not a proponent of cars being in The Sims 4. They absolutely aren't necessary and won't work well in most of the worlds in that game. But I doubt they would ever give us cars in an update at this point. Their whole model is charging for shit. And since I am no longer buying things for The Sims 4, I would not invest in that. So it really isn't in their best interest to put the time and effort into it. So I think it is safe to say that The Sims 4 will never have cars. And just like The Sims 4, all my households have to take up gardening apparently. Kate wanted it, so I let her have a garden, despite the fact that I keep forgetting to tend it, because I don't really want it, and truthfully I don't much care what Kate wants if it doesn't align with my desires while I'm playing. It's not like it's going to be lucrative side income for them in this game. Nothing in The Sims 2 is like The Sims 4 when it comes to turning a side hustle into a viable career. That is one of my favorite features of 4, that nearly every skill has a way in which you can use it to make side income and get rich. Yes, from a game difficulty standard, The Sims 4 is far too easy, but I don't need every video game to be hardcore. Sometimes I just want to vibe and chill, which The Sims 4 is really good at letting me do. The economy in this game is centralized around whatever job your sim has, which is more like what life used to be like in the 90s and 2000s. Now with the gig economy, it's all about that side hustle, and we're back to ranting about capitalism. Say sorry.
relative. Wow. Et voilà de tafel, Sam.
Ethan really couldn't decide where he wanted to put the roses down for the longest time. I did not realize while I was playing how many times he picked them up and moved them, but I find it kind of funny now in retrospect.
Et voilà de tafel, Sam.
Kate is called into her boss's office for a short meeting when she notices a hideous painting over the boss's desk. Like, truly awful. Should Kate say something or keep her mouth shut? Do not say anything. Kate holds her tongue so as not to offend the boss. However, her boss later accosts her and asks her about the painting. Kate waffles a bit before her boss criticizes it for being bad pop art, and said that he previously valued Kate's art opinion, but is no longer sure Kate loses some arts and crafts enthusiasm. Well, that's not the worst outcome, so it's fine. Bought them a second car because twice in this episode they both have to use the van at least once to drive themselves to work because they missed their carpool, and in the off chance that they both need to drive into work on the same day, now they can. Also decided to hire a maid in this episode because managing the house myself is becoming a bit tedious, and they have the finances for it, so why not? Kate has been promoted to dowser. Whoever thought that you could make so much money getting a stick to point towards water? Just walk slowly, wait for that rod to wiggle, and then start digging. You might want to consult the city map, though, just to make sure that what you're chasing isn't a sewer main. Kate now works from 5 p.m. to 12 a.m., starting immediately. Kate brought home 1,092 today and got a bonus of 2,184. Way to go, girl, but I don't know how this relates to your paranormal career. That's really bizarre. I don't understand, Sims Team. What was the goal here? Why is she... Oh, she's reading the arts section.
Ce moment-là, ouais. Eh, woo!
Ramen stab! It's a booty.
There's a spray! Money theater! Huh?
Oob.
Hello. Oh. Hevwab? Et c'était l'amour de la Hevwab?
Date number 2. Both of their dates end up lasting all night and into the morning and running into the time when they are supposed to start work. And I felt real bad for Ethan here because he got 0 sleep before he had to go to work today. I was wishing for the sleep replacement potion from The Sims 4 here because I use that hack a lot. In that game, when I get lost in something and then my Sims must go to work. But they did not sleep at all the night before. In fact, I wish I could have a sleep replacement potion in real life. And I know that we have coffee, but it isn't quite the same and you know it. Coffee speeds my body up but doesn't really always wake me up, which is a hallmark of ADHD, so yes. A sleep replacement for my neurodivergent ass would be super helpful in real life.
Yes, yeah.
Ruanin.
La place la cabla. Hafa patene la shan.
Shifahan. Aha.
Dab.
Oopsie.
Wow.
As always, if you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Every little bit you can do really helps, especially since I am working towards being able to monetize my channel. Thank you for watching, and let me know what you want to see more of in The Sims 2, or from this Let's Play in the future, in the comments below.